Hey guys, so it's getting to be that time of year when those of us who do December daily albums are starting to think about doing our December daily albums. And so I thought I would take a moment to share with you what some of my past December daily albums looked like. I know that I've shared in the past on the blog some tips for doing December daily albums, but sometimes it's just helpful to look at December daily albums just to get some ideas. And so I thought it would be fun to go through all my past albums because I've been doing this for a couple years now, and there's some things that I like, some things that I don't like. I do a different approach every year. I wish I could tell you that I found something that works and that I have stuck with. I haven't found that yet. Maybe this will be the year. So first things first, this was my very first one in 2011, and I used up some scraps from I think this was an Echo Park holiday themed kit. So December daily albums are really great for using up some of your leftover Christmas scrap paper. So keep that in mind. If you've got some leftover stuff, these albums usually are generally like mini albums, small albums. So it's a great way to just see. I just used like a strip of paper, backed a photo, I used a small photo, got a couple embellishments in here, did a little bit of journaling, and I was done. Very, very simple. It didn't have to be too crazy. And like back in 2011, I wasn't like scrapbooking to like super hardcore. Obviously, it's always fun to look back and see how your style has evolved over the years. So this album that I chose to use this year, it was like the album. I don't even know who made it, but like all the big scrapbookers had it. And I didn't get it for Christmas. So I purchased it after the holiday season. So this December daily was made in January. So I didn't prepare it in advance. I made it after the holiday season. And it had these really great pocket pages, which were super awesome. So I made this little tag with the cookie recipe that I made that year, because every year I make a cookie recipe that I share with like neighbors and send to family members and everything. And it had photo pages in here too, which I actually tore out because I just didn't need them. But it also had like way too many pages for a December daily. And as you can see, actually this year, I think I had something for every day, which is surprising. I didn't think that I managed to do that the first year. And that's something that I will talk about later, about trying to get a photo every day. But I did end up tearing out a bunch of pages, and that was kind of sad. So definitely keep that in mind when you're choosing the kind of album you want to use for your December daily. Do you need something big? Do you need something small? If you're only going to be doing 25 pages, maybe you want something that just has enough for that. If you're doing like a chipboard album, and it just has chipboard pages, which I'll show you about in a second, maybe you're going to need to think about ways to add to that. So see, here's where I ended my 25 days, and I just kept things very, very simple. You saw as we flipped through, I kept it very simple. And so this one did not take long to complete, which was really great. I don't like December dailies to be really, really time consuming or stressful. That's not what December daily is supposed to be about. You've just gone through the holiday season and you're making your album. Let's not, make anything stressful for you in the new year. So let's see if I can find the next one that I did. Here's for 2012. So this was actually a little chipboard album. It had pages, little chipboard pages that kind of got bigger as you went along. I think I won this as a prize. So there were only 4 pages, so obviously that wasn't going to work for me. So I started with this being the cover, and I just used a bunch of like random holiday paper that I had. So I still had some Echo Park paper. And I added in some extra things here. So that was from a Christmas caroling thing we did. I adopted a child through the post office's Operation Santa, so I did a little envelope where I put the kid's letter inside. I went to a special event through work, so I put that recipe and I used this as an extra page. So there are lots of ways to get creative to add pages. You can always add pages. Taking them out of albums might be kind of difficult depending on the album. So this was the chipboard page, and that was really easy to decorate. Here's another one where I added a page. I actually think this was a Christmas card sample that came in the mail. So I just used it and added this pattern paper from my collection. And then we've got the Christmas cards, which I love, 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 love adding Christmas cards to my December daily albums. That's what I do from now on. All the Christmas cards get is when if I'm doing a D-ring album, which I kind of prefer, and I just realized I don't have a D-ring album for this year's, which is going to be a problem. But I love just punching holes in the albums and popping them right into or punching holes in the cards and popping them right into my December daily album. It's super easy. So this was another sample card that I got in the mail. I just used it as a page and turned it into something for my album. And as you can see, I have something for December 18th and it goes straight to December 22nd. So this year I didn't worry about trying to get something for every day of the year. Or every day of the year, every day of the month of December. I just kind of let it go. And, you know, if we did something festive, then we did something festive. If not, no big deal. Oh, I'm missing a letter. Uh-oh. It happens. I'll just replace it. No big deal. So this one, I really, really liked the way it turned out. And it's not too thick. Again, I kind of just tried to keep things simple with how I was designing it. So I really enjoyed putting that one together. Then the next year, ooh, I went a little bit bigger with my album, didn't I? This was a Bo Bunny chipboard album. I really like the way I designed this on the cover. So this didn't come this way. I added the paper. This was like a see-through, a transparency overlay. And then I added all this for the title. And then it had these tabbed chipboard pages, which I like super loved. And again, see, this was starting in November, but it was like holiday themed because that's when we got our tree. So I just threw that in there, no big deal. It has the chipboard pages. So I just kind of decorated and again, was not trying to do things every single day of December. I actually, I remember I laid out these pages in advance and then just added the pictures in as I got them, as I took them. So actually this one was kind of like made during the month of December, which made it really easy to put it together. I wasn't like trying to do too much. I wasn't trying to finish it up at the last minute once we got past Christmas. So see, I just kind of threw pictures in together. Again, like just keeping it really, really simple. And then we got to the cards. So this tab is all about the cards. This is one of the pocket pages that I had saved from my very first December daily album. So I just put all the cards in here. Then these are the cards. My husband's a teacher, so those are from his students. And then I used the last tab to do the cookies that I made for that year. And then here's the recipe. So again, just keeping things very, very simple, although this one is like super huge and big. I don't think I would go with an album that was this big again. I do kind of like the smaller ones because it just makes it sort of easier to store and easier to put out on display. I like to put these, I have this little holiday themed hat box that somebody used as a gift box for me and I saved it, and I like to put my December dailies out on display in the hat box so that when people come over, not that we have guests over like ever, but if we ever had guests, they could come over and they could take a look at my little mini December daily albums. All right, so let's see. For the December 2014, this one I think I was just like super frustrated and I just wanted to get it done. I had this little kind of board book album and I said, you know what, like I'm on a budget because scrapbooking can be really expensive. So I think I just used it, and I had this paper pad and I just put all of these pages together. So it had quite a few pages. And again, I did not do a picture a day in December. So these are all pictures that I took and I posted them to Instagram. So I printed them directly from Instagram through the Walgreens app. So they came out in the 4x4 size. I just journaled right on the pictures. I had these really cool metallic pens and I don't think I have them anymore, to be quite honest with you. And again, like there's no embellishment. I kept this super duper simple. I was not trying, this year I really just wanted to get it done. That was pretty much what I wanted to do. And it does make me kind of sad because I love scrapbooking and I love the process and I love doing December dailies. But yeah, this year I really wanted to get it done. And then unfortunately, because I used the board book, I had to like make my own little pocket for the cards, but I did have these extra D-ring binders, which you can pick up at Michael's in a big pack. So it's always nice to have those on hand. So this one wasn't my favorite, but again, like one of my biggest tips is if you plan in advance, you won't end up having a December daily album like this. So anyway, you win some, you lose some. What are you going to do? This was 2 years ago, December daily 2015. I was pregnant when I made this one. And I was like, I had to do this. I was scrapbooking on the couch because I just couldn't move. I was so hugely pregnant. So I bought this really awesome pink paisley journal book. I had like a lot of pages kind of like already filled in. It was just so gorgeous. And then I bought some paper to go with it. So this made it really, really easy. It was like a pre-filled out book. So if you're looking for something that could make it really easy, you still want to do a little bit of decoration, I would totally recommend that. This had like day 1 and day 2. And again, I don't think, maybe I did, I think for this one, this year I did do one for every day. I just managed to kind of like make it happen, make it work. So I just did a little bit of embellishments with the pictures. I really liked that, you had the space to do a little bit of journaling and put your numbers for the dates down. This is such a really cool, like, little journal thing, and I love how that is. See, you don't even need to add anything to that. It's just so cool. Oops, my pocket's coming out. See, I'm going to have to go back and, like, hot glue that in. So that's the bad thing about, like this when you're trying to add your Christmas cards. But I'll fix that later. So we'll just kind of go through this a little bit more quickly. So, again, I do like albums like this. But for my Christmas cards, I think D-ring albums are really just more the way to go for me. I see it has like, built-in ways that you can do this. Really, really last year. Love that, love that, love that, love that. Another pocket that I made for the Christmas cards. Favorite Christmas movies that you can write in. So I don't know if they still sell this album, or maybe they'll come out with another one for this year. Just takes you all the way through. Pregnancy pedicure. I wish I could still afford those. Takes you all the way through to the end of the Christmas season. And again, I made another pocket that I'm going to have to re-glue. Those are our ornaments. So those are the kinds of things that you can take pictures of. Ornaments, my pregnancy pedicures. This was Christmas Day and our gifts. And I do still like scrapbook the Christmas Day pictures in my regular album, but it's nice to have some of these in the December daily, just because it's, it's what happened in December. That's my birthday because I was born the day after Christmas, and we have that. And then I included this. Normally I stop my December dailies like on Christmas Day or the day after, but I had a baby shower on the 27th, and then I just went through to Christmas or New Year's Eve, just because I had the extra pages to finish it up. So that was really fun. And I just love how glittery and shimmery that is. All right, and so then this is last year's back to the D-rings, which means that I could punch holes in the cards and include them. So this one, again, I was using scraps. So I didn't do a whole lot of embellishments because I was just using what was in my stash. I didn't have pictures for every day, but see, I did some of our decorations because I wanted to remember how I had decorated. It was, the first year that we had, it was the baby's first Christmas, so the first year we had her stocking up. There are some of our Christmas cards, and I kind of just infiltrated them in between these chipboard pages that came in with the album, which I got at Michael's. Yeah, she hated the snow. Gingerbread house competition that I went to, and then I put, the date right there. Again, some more Christmas cards. We get to another chipboard page. My husband and I wrapped presents together and watched a movie one night. So I took a picture of that. This is my favorite Christmas movie. I took a picture of that. So that's something that you could take a picture of. If you're like, I have to take a picture every single day, take a picture of stuff like that. And then, journal about it. Do a little bit more than what I did just there. Because I'm sure I talked about that in my very first December daily. I don't really have to talk about it every year, even though I love watching it every year. Here are the cookies. This, I just took a picture, made it a 5x7 of the cookies that I made, and then on the back of it, I put the recipe, so that's a great way to add in some more pages if you need them. And then it takes us to Christmas Eve, and we've got some more Christmas cards and Christmas Day and the day after, and I think we finish it up with our Christmas cards, and that was our Christmas card from last year. So this year I'm going to be doing a Creative Memories album, which is not D-ring, so I'm kind of like, what am I going to do with the cards? But I think I'm going to do a December photo a day challenge. So I'm going to have 31 photos. So every day you have to take a picture of like a theme, something fun, something green, whatever. And those are the pictures that I'm going to use in my December daily album. I don't have any papers. I don't have a paper collection picked out just yet, but I know that I'm going shopping over the holiday season to a scrapbook store, and I know I'm getting a gift card, so I'm going to do some shopping there with that, and we'll see what I can pick up. So while I always prefer, and I always say, try to like plan ahead, I'm not going to be able to do that with the album this year. So I'll just have to share some process videos with you in December and keep you updated on the blog throughout January. And we can work on our December daily albums together in January, and we'll get them all done when we get them all done. Don't stress about it. I'll try to share a little bit more on the blog throughout December and again in January. If you need more tips, or if you have some tips that you want to share with us, definitely post them in the comments. And thanks for watching.